Hey guys, welcome back to Creators of the Lost Art. My name is Ron, and I know it's been a while since I posted on YouTube. I've been kind of taking a self-imposed sabbatical from YouTube, but I did want to show you what I've been working on as my winter project during those cold, snowy, icy days. This is a Wilderness Radar 115 11.5 foot kayak that I bought back in 2017, brand new. And I'm going to use it a lot more this year, so I wanted to make some upgrades to it. Number one is I wanted to add a trolling motor to my kayak. I paddled it for many years and it's hard to fish and paddle at the same time, so I wanted to upgrade that. And with a trolling motor, you have to add batteries. So my battery bank is stored in my front storage here. I built a little wooden L-shaped bracket. This is all made out of white oak, and it's all been several coats of polyurethane to make it water resistant. And I have two, I don't want to take them out of there, but I have two 30 amp hour lithium ion batteries that have indicators on them for the battery capacity and the voltage. And they are paralleled together, so that gives me 60 amp hours worth of battery. And I did make it a little bit oversized, so I could add another battery right here if I find that it's not enough power. So I purchased this kayak in 2017 with the idea of it being upgradable, meaning I could add pedals to it or the factory trolling motor. However, the pedals cost as much as the kayak, and the trolling motor is actually a little bit more than the kayak. So to keep it more in my price range and in the art of doing it yourself, I wanted to do it myself. This kayak right here in this compartment comes with this plastic hatch thing that unbolts, and normally you would put your kayak pedals right down through here. But I was given a Newport 12 volt 36 pound trolling motor, kayak trolling motor for Christmas, and I wanted to put it in the middle of the kayak because lots of people put them on the back, and we'll look at that in a minute, put them on the back, but I fish in a lot of places that has a lot of grass and moss, and if you get the blades, moss and grass tangled up on the blades, it'd be very difficult to get all of that stuff off in the back. So I had to come up with a way to put it in the middle that I could access it while I'm on the water without having to go over to land and get out and pull the motor up. And this is what I came up with. So first off, I took the trolling motor and I took the top of it off. I wound up cutting a little bit of the shaft off, but not very much. I took the top off so that I could access the wires. I did save, and I didn't film it, but I did save the little speed controller to add to this. This is all, once again, all made out of white oak, and the way this works is if I want to access it while I'm on the water or pull it out, or even if I hit a stump while I'm going forward, this is designed to pop up. So it will pop up with it so that I don't break the shaft off or break anything else. To pull it out, all I've got to do is pop it up, slide it back. It has a little lip right here that fits down underneath that piece. Slide it back and then raise it up and out of there. And it'll come right out. And I can set it wherever. I initially looked for a trolling motor with a smaller foot or smaller motor on it so that it would fit without having to lean it back and get it out of this hole, but this hole was designed for their factory trolling motor or pedals, which is smaller than a normal trolling motor, so I had to make do. And that's the reason why I have to lean it back in order to get the blade past the fiberglass and then set it down, slide the lip in and set it down, and it will not come out of there. In saving the control knob, come over here. The potentiometer for that is mounted inside of this, on the back side of this piece of wood, and I took my laser engraver and engraved the speeds on there. This knob right here allows me some vertical movement, adjustability up and down in case I get on the water and I find that I'm not moving enough water, or if I'm running kind of shallow but not super shallow, I could raise the motor up and get it out of the bottom of the river. I added this quick connector for the trolling motor so that I can completely pull it out if I wanted to. All the wiring is ran inside the hole up to the battery, but I have a quick connect for that. And all the wiring is mounted inside, or is made up inside of this box that I built so that I could access it if I needed to. I also didn't want to be constantly having to turn the motor on and off as I'm fishing. I want to be as hands-free as possible so that I can be, fighting that monster bass or whatever it is that I'm fishing for. So I decided to add a foot pedal, or what we always call a hot foot, I think is what it's called, on an adjustable foot peg or foot brace here. So I built this solid piece and bolted it to the sides. I have this little pin and some adjustability, like if I have longer legs or if I have my seat in the up or the down position, I can actually move how far forward my pedal goes, and then put this pin in there to hold it. Then I can turn whatever speed that I want on the trolling motor, and nothing happens until I push this button. Once I push this button, if I let off the button, it stops. If I push the button, it goes. And the speed control works through this switch. If I want to go long distance, and I got this off Amazon, I'm sure they sell them at Academy. That's where I bought mine years and years and years ago. But if I wanted to just keep going, like I didn't, my foot got tired, it does have the ability to just put into all-time mode. I do have it fused with a 40 amp fuse, just in case something happens, that it won't burn up my wiring or anything. But the switch works all the way to high speed, and then I have 3-speed reverse on it. This is heavy enough that, and I haven't tested in water, but it's heavy enough that when it's in reverse, I'm not sure that it would kick up or try to kick up. Oh, it would kick up a little bit, but I could always just push down on this with my foot or my hand as I'm going into reverse. I don't anticipate using reverse very much. Because the motor is set in the middle and it doesn't turn to maneuver the kayak, I had to come up with a way to, because the motor's going straight, I have to have a way to steer the kayak. And what I came up with was a rudder with steering control mounted right here on the side. Now the factory, this is a factory hole cut out that you can buy a plastic insert, but it comes with the rudder kit, with the pedal kit, which is as expensive as the kayak, so I had to come up with my own. And I'm not going to take this out and show you, but on the back side of here is a spool like this with a 1/16 stainless steel cable that comes out over the top, goes through the sleeve that goes to the back of the kayak, that's from the factory, and one on the top that goes to the other hole coming out, and I'll show you that in just a minute. I had to create a way to turn it. There's a 1/4 inch by 5/8 bearings in here that make this pretty smooth. And by turning this back and forth, as you'll see in a minute, go ahead and it makes the rudder turn left and right. So this is, like I said, all made out of white oak with lots and lots of coats of polyurethane in it. And there's one block here that has a 1/4 inch bolt that's epoxied in it from the bottom. This has bearings in it so that it moves back and forth. You can barely see that bearing right there. Moves back and forth very smoothly on that bolt. And then these are nylon lock nuts so that they can't come back off. This is actually a 3-piece, come on this side. It's actually a 3-piece rudder. I mean, this piece is separate. If you look right here, as this comes up, this piece is stationary. It's pinned to this side because there is a stainless steel wire in there that's creating a spring effect. When I pull this up, and I'll show you that in just a second, when I pull this up, if I let it go, it springs back down. Because I always want this to be in the down position unless I want it to be up. And if I hit something on the bottom, I want it to be able to pop up and go right back down. I go across a log or a shoals or something. These are some stainless steel pad eyes that I picked up off of Amazon that I use for the steering control. These sleeves, nylon sleeves, were from the factory, and this one was over here, and I cut it off and I ran it on this side, or drilled a hole in the middle, and ran it through the hole. It's already ran through the hole, but it goes up to the foot peg that I'll show you in just a second. And I wanted to use this to be able to raise my rudder manually and have it locked in an upward position without having a rope coming over the top like most of them do. They have a rope coming over the top that goes, and the user raises it by hand. Okay, so I came up with this idea to raise and lower the rudder handless. So this is with my feet. And I have this pin here, locks it in the forward position, which will stay right there in that holder. Say I need to raise my rudder for whatever reason. This is where the factory sleeve came out for foot style or foot rudder control from the factory. So reusing that sleeve, I ran this 16-inch stainless steel cable in there and created this piece that I can just push with my foot forward. And it has a pin. Look right here, there's a right here. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. There's a dowel that locks into the end of this piece that keeps it in a forward position. If I want to lock it in that forward position, I put this pin through right there and this will not come out. And if you look back in the back, you can see that the rudder is in the upward position. If I want to lower it back down, stay right there. I release it back down, the spring pulls it down into the lower position and it will stay there until I push my foot peg forward again. Okay, and because I, according to the state of Arkansas, have changed this from a manual propulsion to a mechanical propulsion motorboat and have to register it, I also have to add low light or nighttime navigation, which I did with using a switch that's mounted right here. I mounted it here so that I would be less likely to accidentally hit it, but also because I have no way of accessing inside of this hole to pull the wire that I needed. So this switch is has a lighted indicator when it's turned on, and also mounted stick-on LED bow lighting on red on that side and green on this side. And in the back, did I turn it off? Yeah. I have a stern light that raises and also stores away. And it's just mounted with some screws with the wire going through the hole up to that switch. This is a factory storage pod. I have used this before and I'm going to reuse it again for adding a depth finder or fish finder, sonar, whatever you guys want to call it. It opens up, it's kind of dirty in there now, but it opens up there. You can store certain things in there. It also pulls out, and on the bottom of it, as you can see right here, I used to have the sonar part of it mounted to the bottom of it that goes down through this hole, and it works quite well. I just don't have one yet. This is where I bolted the L-shaped bracket through there to hold the batteries in the front. So just waiting to get the fish finder, and then I'll be ready to go spend some time on the water. So I hope you enjoyed this. I watched lots of videos when I was trying to come up with how I wanted to do mine, and then ultimately did it however I wanted to do it. So if you guys are thinking about adding a motor to your kayak, this might be the way that you decide to go. If you got any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching.